everybody loves Disneyland, and everybody loves to collect Disneyana.
How can anyone hate Mickey Mouse?
True.
We're here at Disneyland on a beautiful sunny day.
And we're here because we're seeing all the people and the rides and the memorabilia and everything that has to do with Disney.
You know, people are collecting today's collectible now.
And we're here partly because the Disneyana convention is in town, and we're going to see all the people who have been collecting this for a great many years.
And people have been collecting this since the park opened and since Disney started. And no one seems to have it all.
No, I'm sure they don't. But it's a wonderful thing to collect. It's a happy place to be, and it's a family collection. We saw all the characters who are now really a part of our culture, a part of our growing up, and they say Mickey Mouse is the most recognizable figure in the world today. Seeing him brings back happy childhood memories and lots of fun and sharing with our families and our kids in those sappy Mickey Mouse ears.
It did to me, anyway.
But we also saw where there are close to 200 different items currently being made by licensed manufacturers of Disney characters. There were people lined up to buy just almost anything that had to do with Disney. As long as there was Disney on it, they bought it. It's really amazing and astounding that the character merchandising department of Disney Productions grosses millions of dollars each year.
And we saw a lot of it. We saw everything from animation cells that have been produced by the Disney studios to, I love this, $2,495 men's Mickey Mouse watch in gold, but a $1,295 woman's gold Mickey Mouse
Well,
watch.
that should tell you something.
And 98-cent souvenirs, absolutely everything.
There was something for everyone. It's been about 30 years since we were at Disneyland.
We were at the opening.
Well, it might have been a few years more than that.
But it's a wonderful place. It always has been. It's bigger now. Lots more things going on, but they're all the same Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck and all the familiar characters.
I don't remember all the things that were there 30 years ago,
Of course
but
not.
going back is like going back to my childhood. Everyone we looked at, everyone we talked to was smiling. There were no unhappy people, no unhappy faces.
I know, and I got to meet Prince Charming. Oh, that was exciting. But afterwards, we got to go across the street to the hotel where the Disneyana collectors were meeting, of course. Where else than Disneyland? The 5th annual Disneyana Collectors Convention was put on by a group that called themselves the Mouse Club, a club that's been growing very rapidly indeed. We talked to Kim McEwen, the president of the Mouse Club, and his wife, Julie, who were both there with their children.
This is our 5th convention.
And you of course, you always hold it at Disneyland?
Across the street from Disneyland, yes.
Yeah, it's always at the Disneyland. This has been our 3rd year at the Emerald.
And has it been growing?
This year, our registrations are up about 50% over last year.
Really?
Yeah, so
I mean,
it's-
there's more collectors every year?
Yeah.
It's just exploding. It really is.
We've been trying to get the word out, and the response has been so tremendous, and the growth of the club, that the snowball is just starting to roll, and the correspondence and things that we take care of back where we live is just, it started out as a hobby and a part-time job, and it's fastly becoming a full-time job. I think it has to do with a lot of the Disney spirit that's all around. Everyone thought so much of what Walt did as far as the family entertainment and the parks, and it just carries over to an overall good feeling for everyone. And, you know, what better thing to collect? There's nothing negative about Disney. That's right. It's a happy collectible.
There's a standard that is worth emulating with Walt Disney, and it's a standard of excellence, without a doubt.
And that's what we try to portray and what we want to get across to members and the people, as far as it's not just the collecting either. We call it the collecting of memories, and that's why we try to encourage people to come to the conventions and to meet the animators and the voice people and the people that made the magic happen. And that's just really important to us.
Why are there more collectors now? I mean, you know, some of them, just like the Mouse Club, the original Mouse Club is no longer, yet they're all, a lot of them are here, and there's more people interested in them maybe than there was then.
Have you ever seen them not smile?
No, that's
I mean,
true.
it's just a positive attitude. It really
Everyone here is happy.
Yeah, and it's catchy. It's that spirit, and once it gets into you, you talk to someone else, and they get it, and they talk to someone else, and it just keeps spreading and spreading.
And the collectors can find their own level of collecting. There's the new things in the 60s and 70s and 80s, and then then there's obviously the very classic items from the 30s and 40s.
And the young can do it, the old can do it, families can do it together. I mean, it's a collectible that covers a large range of people.
You don't have to be rich.
No, you don't.
Disneyana collector.
No, you can go to garage sales, you can go to flea markets and pick up items for 10 or 20 cents, or you can come here and pay several $100s for a piece if you want to.
Or maybe
or
a
more.
dollar or two.
And
Or a
enjoy them
dollar
both
too.
the same.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
Oh,
it.
you're welcome. Thank you.
These probably, it's like 300.
The convention was lots of fun. That was an experience. Everybody was looking and buying and buying and buying
Looking.
and looking. Yeah, we had a wonderful time. We met some of the special guests, like Mouseketeer Darling Gillespie, who I do remember, and
You're telling your age.
yeah, I know. Ken Anderson, who was the art director for Snow White, and then later did Pinocchio and The Reluctant Dragon and The Sword in the Stone and 101 Dalmatians and all sorts of other cartoons. And then we also got to talk to Dick Rule, who sketched Donald Duck for over 35 years.
Yeah, but you know, as we looked around that tremendous ballroom, there were dealers there from all over the United States. And I don't know, I was just so overwhelmed by the diversity of the memorabilia. I couldn't believe it.
I know, and I kept you from buying anything, too.
I don't know what to look at first. Again, TV guide, looking at
TV guy or the Walt Disney Channel?
TV guide. October. What can they get for this?
How much is the TV guy?
The TV guide is 20.
$20.
It's a rare one. It's right before Disneyland opened. It should be 1954 in here.
We saw so many beautiful and some not so beautiful examples of Disneyana.
We're really researchers, so one of the best parts of the whole trip for us was to meet David R. Smith, who is the head archivist for Walt Disney's archives. And he does all the research and keeps all the records for the company. It was wonderful talking to him.
Are there more collectors today of Disneyana?
The number of Disney collectors has certainly grown in the 17 years that we've been going with the archives. We published a book back in 1974 called Disneyana, which was the first real book for Disney collectors. And the book didn't do very well. I mean, there weren't that many collectors around. But in the ensuing years, the whole field of Disney collecting has gotten bigger and bigger. The Mouse Club began 5 years ago and started bringing collectors together. Another group splintered off from the Mouse Club, so there's now two groups of Disney collectors. And I understand this year this is the biggest group they've ever had at the Mouse Club. So it just continues to grow.
Is there any idea of any number of Disney collectors?
I think it's really hard to put a number. I think the clubs probably have 2,000 or 3,000 members, but that's certainly not nearly the list of Disney collectors.
Do you get much interest from other countries?
Yes, there is a lot of interest in other countries, and it's growing now as we're building Disneylands abroad, because Tokyo Disneyland has really enhanced the interest of Disney in Japan. And coming up in 1992, we'll have one in France also. And I'm sure that will bring a lot more Disney collectors over there.
One nasty question. Do you keep the knockoffs as well as the originals in your archives?
We try to keep the counterfeit materials, too, because we act as sort of a public relations function of the company, too, by answering questions that collectors send in to us. And if they're going to be asking us about some of these unauthorized pieces, we've got to know what they are. So we have some of them in our collection, too.
Can anyone ask you, and could I write you a letter?
Oh, yes.
I have a...
Yes, we get a lot of correspondence and phone calls asking about Disney memorabilia. And while we won't appraise or authenticate items, we will certainly identify them if we can.
There was so much and so many dealers, and I don't think we spent enough money there.
No, I got you out of that one pretty well. But I was amazed at how much some of the really rather recent Disney items are worth. It's obvious that the very early ones, the first Three Little Pigs or whatever, is going to bring a lot of money. But I was surprised at the things that have been discontinued in the parks in the last few years that are expensive.
I was surprised at how many things were made with the name Disney on it. It's just, you know, it's mind-boggling to me about the number of people that came, the number of dealers, and the thousands of items that were for sale.
And what I like best is you notice how many kids were in there buying, and their parents were encouraging to collect. And after all, that's what it's all about.
But did you see how many parents were buying and the kids were watching?
Well, that too.